So earlier, like we covered this Workday functional side of how it works, and then now today we'll talk about more into Workday finance integration. So, like core, you can say the concept behind Workday integrations, it is going to be the same, similar to whether it is for HCM, compensation, benefit, or any other accounting center, Prism, or anything you can take. But there are changes into the templates, the setups, the logic and business process behind all these financial integrations. So as for the different functional area, there are different templates and other things involved in it. But end of the day, you are going to learn like all these. In this course, you'll be learning like introduction to Workday integration. Then we learn about the enterprise interface builder. Like it is divided into two parts. One is inbound EIB and other outbound. So this enterprise, EIB will be like inbound EIB, then outbound EIB, then we'll learn to different set of connectors, which is given by Workday. Like there could be ad hoc bank transaction connectors, bank statement import, integrations, electronic invoice connectors, then payment, then GOBD or any other different. So there are many connectors, but we'll try to touch and see. Few of them will configure and few of them will be explaining to you because there could be hundreds of different connectors, and all these like the process and setup is going to be the same. But again, the logic has to be like you must know what field and then different kind of concepts fits in together and what are the use of those connectors. So that thing you can even find into the connectors as well, like what it does, what's the use of it. Report writer and security. So Workday like advanced report you can convert as to like you can use it as a web service as well. It should be enabled as web service. We'll do some hands-on on configuring inbound, outbound EIB, setting up connectors, developing custom reports, integration, even the implementing the integration security best practices, how it should be, along with your report writer and calculation field. So to start with, so what it does, like all these integrations, it is like used for export and import of large volume of data within Workday, or it could be external system. Like you can export financial data from Workday to third party, or payroll data to payroll provider, importing data to employees hire, or any other different type of SCM benefit compensation integration. Similarly, we are going to do that for Workday financials data and different functional areas. One second. So the common use you can say for all these integrations like Workday financial integrations. So we'll see like all the common use of these EIBs, inbound, outbound EIBs, connectors, and then Studio. If you see, it is still not part of this course content because again it has a separate content for it that can be included here. But today we'll try to cover as much as we can do for this Workday integration. So integrations deliver, like I can say, typically it has three components. Like you can extract the data, you can transform the data, and you can deliver the data to any email, SFTP, or web service. Extracting means it could be any report of it. Then you can transfer, like convert the data into different format of workday, which is like external system even can understand that particular data, and then you can deliver it to email, SFTP, or web service. All of these connectors, which you can see, the logic behind integrations, it stays same, like extract, transform, and deliver. The connectors are like various kind of templates. It generates the you can even integrate it with the external systems, such as like there are accounting journal connectors, ad hoc bank transactions inbound, bank statement load integrations, credit card and transaction data, EDI, payroll journal, outbound connectors. And of course, we'll on this report writer where we'll be working or will be focused more on the Workday advanced report, and then what are the business objects and delivery for Workday financial related business objects, fields, and instances, the data source for it, and then steps to create, and then how we can create and utilize that particular report. So these are the core areas we are going to cover in this course content. Now for demo, we'll start with like what is EIB, and then what are the benefit and use case for it, what are their components, limitations, security and configuration. So these things we can learn. So today we'll talk about the EIB first. So what is, you can say, the EIB? So first, I think you are clear on what is integration. Integration is typically you are extracting the data and then transforming the data and delivering the data, right? It is called ETL, even ETD as well. Um, Now, what is EIB? So EIB is an integration tool that is kind of helps organization to build simple inbound outbound integration between workday and external system. So as I said, it is kind of simple, I mean simple one, which comes with a different framework to build the integration based on your unique business need. Like you can have, workday has many EIBs given, you can create the EIB, you can have, I mean it is the simplest way to do inbound and outbound integration. Either you are loading data to workday or you are fetching data from workday. In both areas you can use this EIB. The benefit of this EIB is, so you can import and export workday data in bulk, which is like, which saves times and effort, because it's the simplest way to do that. It is really very simple when it comes to importing and exporting, and when you are using EIB. For most of the cases in workday, for most of the data sources, you can always use this EIB. Then one thing to keep in mind, that the more complex the integration is, and it depends on organizations, like how they're, if they have many custom integrations. Similarly, you have to decide like what you are going to use, whether it will be EIB connectors or any third party tool or any studio. It all depends on how you, how the customer, I mean how difficult or custom or integration it is. So the benefit of EIB is like you can export in bulk, save time. It's just a template, or you can say easy to set up. Even you can, in inbound EIB, you can generate a spreadsheet, you can populate the data, and then you can load the spreadsheet into the Workday. That's the simplest way. So it is like filling all the fields given in the template, and you are populating the data in that particular template, and you are again loading it to Workday. Even using this inbound EIB based on Workday business process, you can configure the level of kind of automation. So this helps in the some part of automations as well when you use inbound EIBs. That automation is like you can put in the business process where you can automate some daily or daily routine tasks kind of things. If the business process has some task which has to be automated, this helps you to do that. All right. Now, so what are the key component of this EIB? The key, so far we discussed like what are the benefits of it, what it is, what integration is. Now use cases. So use case for EIB, it could be different for all your different functional area for SCM, payroll, finance. In this course, we'll be mostly covering the financial integration. So one of the use case which is pretty you can say um, available for all the customers, and it's kind of the first one is like importing accounting journals using a spreadsheet into Workday. So sometimes many companies they use different tools. Maybe they are for payroll they are using some other different system. For some other the geography or demography or region or country they are using different financial system. So you can import the accounting journal from like a spreadsheet into Workday. Okay. Then let's say if there are a use case where you want to auto approve any invoice less than $10. Okay. Or any amount which is like company has given like as per company guideline, any invoice which is less than 20, 10 or $100 can be auto approved. You can also like as we discussed that we have a template for loading the ad hoc bank transactions, bank statement. For all this, like we can have that EIB, we can use that EIB. Now, what are the key component of EIB? So first one is like getting the data. So that is like indicating the data source. So you get the data using Workday custom report. You have to transform it like converting the data into the format of like Workday or any external system. And then you can define how Workday will import or export the data. The one more thing is like EIB include all fields from the data sources. You can't actually select which field to include or exclude. Let's say you created advanced report, it has 10 columns and you only want to include 5 of them. That function is yet not there. You have to select all of them. When it comes to security and then configuration, so you should have access to integration functional area domain. to work on integration side of it, or even the inbound EIB you can use as a business processes to enter the data. For that also you need access for report writer or integration admin, or if even if you are certified you can get implementer access. Their reporting also available to monitor EIB event and then exceptions. All right. So hope it is clear what is integration, what is EIB, EIB use case, the benefit of EIB, the components of EIB, what are the limitations of EIB, and what are the security and configuration around it. So all this comes like how you set up these in Workday. Now I can talk about Workday tenant. Like we'll create an EIB based on inbound public available, web services. Then we can also create it. First, we'll have to create this advanced report as well. I mean, when we go through learning phase of it, we'll start from report writer. But you can set up EIB on whatever the services available for the operations while creating the inbound EIB. You have to create a integration system user, and that user you have to give access as a get and put. Get, these two words are for Workday security. So if you want to import and export, in that case you need security access, integration security access. So let's say you want to get the data from Workday, you should have get access. If you are loading data to Workday, you should have put access. It is like import export. Earlier you might have heard view and modify access. So that is for functional area, like what data source or what business object you can see and which you can modify. Similarly, we have a get and put access. So once you do the setup, like create a EIB based on the inbound on and services available, then you can create ISU and give it a access like get and put access. Then you can generate the template and populate with the Workday data in case of inbound EIB. So once you set up this EIB spreadsheet, it's like you can enter business data into, generated this spreadsheet. You will also have to set up business process security for EIB load. And then you can launch the EIB once it is ready with the attachment or add. All those depends on if you have access to launching the EIB. Similarly, like outbound EIB, you can set up outbound EIB. You can determine if you want to use web service or custom report as a data source for EIB in case of outbound one. When it comes to custom report means we are talking about advanced report. You can create a security policy to grant report access if integration uses a custom report in such cases. You can even create a web service data sources like select public, outbound workday, web service operations. Third step you'll create in case of outbound, you'll create a HTTPS transport protocol, like you can configure like URL, header, document retention policy. Then you can create a integration transformation. like use a delivered transformation to create accessibility in transformation. And there will be options to, even manage the outbound EIB with custom accessibility. Like you can Workday recommends transferring no more than 100 MB of data to avoid performance issue. So these are the key steps to create inbound or outbound EIBs. Any questions so far, or should I move to Workday connectors?
So do we have, external system while
Not the external system, but we'll have, the location will be given, the options will be given. So because we don't manage third party system, you're just sending the file and their side of team will work on what to do with that file. So all we need a location.
okay.
So we'll move to Workday connectors. So as you guys know, like companies are like using this Workday for their HR and finance both. So similar to like we have HCM different connectors, there are financial connectors as well. So in financial, what happens? Like company is like you kind of imagine if you have bunch of information about companies' money, like to whom they are paying, from where they are receiving, how they are maintaining their reports, financial statements, and so on. How much they are paying to employee, how much they are investing, like this covers whole lot of areas like account payable, receivable, like supplier, customer, and financial management. Even how much money is coming in from customers. All this you are maintaining in financing. So there, apart from EIB, we have financial connectors in Workday that are like bridge. You can call it like it is a bridges that connects Workday to other system that your company might use. So these are the bridges like allow you to easily move information back and forth between Workday to other programs or other systems. For example, let's say your company uses, like earlier I explained about the connectors, separate or maybe SAP for in different countries, right? You want to pull in all those informations or journal lines or reports in Workday as well to have a reporting in one place. Take an example of accounting connectors, like this connector can take the information of your company's financials from Workday and send it to any other accounting software or any planning software. You can call it a framework or function within Workday, and they act as a bridges that connect Workday to other system. And there will not be much of manual work, once you move while moving these information back and forth. So when somebody is asking you like what is financial connectors, you can always say that it is set of pre-built integration that allow you to connect Workday with various external software system and services. It is just to, connectors make it like kind of easy to exchange the data between Workday or any third party system. There are different connectors. We'll see how to set up them, but like there are accounting connectors, so that connectors allow you to import accounting journal data from an external system to Workday. For example, or use case you can think of it is, let's say in Hong Kong you are using different SAP software, SAP ANA or any PeopleSoft or not PeopleSoft, maybe Oracle or NetSuite, or there are many other ERP systems. And then you want to import that journal from external system to Workday. To do that, you can use accounting journal because it why we use you'll have to use it because that requires transforming the external data into a format which Workday can understand. It is not like any data you take in and load it in Workday. You have to go with certain routes and then you have to find out which data where you are loading. And also it should know the given connectors. So if you load that in as per the given inbuilt framework or tool, so Workday will understand that will understand the data you are loading. There is one I have added here like ad hoc bank transaction connector. So this connector imports ad hoc bank transaction data from external system to Workday. This also requires transforming the external data into Workday defined format. So it will this will like transform the data as well, the one you are trying to load into Workday, and then it will import as well the transactional data. So if you remember, I said in integration there are three main components: extract, transform, load. Sometime you can call it deliver. So let's say if you already extracted it from Hong Kong SAP HANA system, the transformation will happen through these connectors, and then obviously you are going to load it. There are different connectors as a like bank statement import integrations, or you can say bank fee statement connectors. So these are for importing the bank fees statements from your financial institution for analysis and reporting in Workday. And bank statement report is kind of import prior day or an intraday bank statement files from external sources into Workday. Then there are credit card integration. Like these integrations enables you to import credit card and transactional data from external provider, maybe American Express or Visa. These are the different credit card, you can say service provider company. You can integrate using credit card integrations. Then there are electronic payment connectors. So Workday, like these connectors connects Workday to different financial institutions for inbound and outbound payment processing, like how much money is coming and going out. So all those payments processing you can have the connectors. So typically, like there are many other connectors. All you need to understand the first basics of it, the fundamental, the use of it, why, where, how, and how to set up, what security needed, what access you need. These are the some fundamental things you must understand. Then there could be different templates which you can use. Any questions?
No, Sumit.
Any topic you want to me to cover more in detail, or it is fine because we have only 10 minutes left. The report side of it, you already know what it is. I think covered in the financial functional demo. So report is like you must know how to create advanced report and other reports and how to enable it as a web service and use as a data source, and what security you have to provide, and then security around these all these integrations, EIB and connectors. Apart from these EIB core connectors and then different types of reports, the security, integration security. So Workday Studio is like visual integration development tool. It is provided by Workday. It allows Workday customer and partners to build custom integration between Workday and other enterprise applications. Most of the time, you'll see that most of the integrations you can do using these two. Let's say you have you work for very large set of enterprise, and they have very different and custom integration and complex integration. For that, you can use Workday Studio, which is a visual integration development tool. So the purpose of this Workday Studio is like Workday Studio enables the creation of complex, high performing integration. There you can, it is more like visual, integration kind of like it provides a graphical or drag and drop interface for designing and developing the integration. And Workday Studio supports building both inbound and outbound integration. In that, there are pre-built connectors as well in Studio, and that will again allow you transformation, mapping, and enrichment of your data. There will be error handling, monitoring, logging capabilities as well. There are reusable integration template and component. So there are different types of integration when it comes to Workday Studio. So you can say like there are file transfer, maybe it is a CSV or XML. There are web services like SOAP and REST, database connectivity. So these are different types of integrations that Workday Studio supports. And in Studio, like it's again a drag and drop kind of tool. So you can visually like you can see what you are dragging and dropping. There are certain process you have to follow. You can also use pre-built connectors or build custom ones. I think there are very few people who knows how to build a custom connectors on Workday. That is kind of that comes under Workday development. So you can test it, you can debug and deploy directly from the studio. So that's the one of the functionality as well. The benefit of using Workday Studio is like it reduces the time, effort required to build complex integration. Even the non-technical people who don't know the code or they don't have a lot of right. So mostly this Workday Studio is very powerful when it comes to build a custom integration which cannot be covered by all these. So that's it about this integrations, and then if you guys have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll wrap up this demo session.
Sir, Workday financial consultant and financial integration both are same work or different works.
It is a different work. Workday Financial mostly functional side. You work setting and configuration of business processes, how R2R works, AP works, AR work, banking and settlement will work. Integration consultants works on EIB, loading the data, transforming the data, extracting the data using EIB core connectors or Studio. So some people you will find they know both of it, like they might know functional and integration both. So it depends, but the work is different. You see, Workday Financial has different set of details, configuration needed, and this one we have it is kind of it comes under the technical.
So, do we cover the advanced reports now, sir?
Yeah, without that's a start point. First we have to learn advanced report goal, creating even here you can see we have a create custom report, accessing workday data source, configure report layout and filters, scheduling and distributing the report, then using report as a data source for integration, securing the report access for integration. So that will come under depends on your how whether you have worked on integration kind of environment earlier or used any other tool to work on it. So there are many factors. If you don't know at all, then it might take more time. Otherwise, for these things are very easy, as I said, like you can quickly create in 5-10 minutes. But if you don't know what is the use of it, where and how you are using, then it will take time, right?
To cover this additional tools like Prism and something else which is in demand in the market.
All those are will be part of it. Without that, you cannot cover all this. So whatever the tools, technology needed to build these EIB connectors, reports, fields, security, and other configuration will cover all this.
Prism also we are going to cover.
Sorry,
Prism. Prism is a tool nowadays people are using this to integrating with
Prism is a
third party.
separate analytics tool that is not a part of
Okay.
it. This.
Okay.
Even
Yeah.
Studio is also 25 hours of separate training. That is, I'll be giving you the overview of it. It is not a part of it. Already, like we are combining many things together. So it is not about just You take all the training for 6 months and you don't practice and you know nothing, you'll not be able to clear interviews.
True.
Having said that, I'll give you some insight on Workday financial integration and then we'll wrap up.
Okay.
So integration importance for financial Workday financial. So why we need all these integration. So Workday financial system or any other financial system relies on heavily exchanging the data from one system to another when it comes to finance. So you can so this integration will enable the flow of data from such as accounting journal or bank statement, payment informations between one system to other. There could be different types which we discussed. So Workday provides like wide range of pre-built financial integration like connectors. There are EIBs for all your journal ledger, account payable, account receivable, treasury, and more. So you can also even build the financial integration like custom integration using Studio. So the benefit of it is like you're automating exchange, data exchange reduces like manual effort and errors. You are centralizing the financial data in Workday to improve the visibility and reporting. All right. So these integrations will like enable you to see the data in real time, bi-directional sync of financial information. So it is like you're collecting a lot of data from different system you're visualizing. As you mentioned, praise that is like without knowing integration, without knowing functional, you can't do anything in praise. Praise means like it comes core HR or core finance, then integrations and reporting, then studio, and then you might go to Prism. It is not like you directly learning Prism and you are importing all the data and then you are thinking what will I do with this data without having the business knowledge and integration. Okay. In Prism, you might have to use different integration tools as well. Then we discuss like financial integration use cases like importing accounting journals from external accounting system, retrieving the bank statement and reconciling the bank transactions, like processing the electronic payments, integrating with payment gateway, exchanging customer and supplier data with CRM or any procurement system, tax filing and then audit filing will come. All these are kind of use cases. When somebody is asking you what are the challenges you face while building this financial integration, you can say mapping the data format codes between Workday to external system. For example, your external system may have different codes, set of data. Your Workday has different set of data. These two are different systems. You have to map. You should know how to map which data is called what. What's the use of all this data? All those, if you know, you will be able to, or somebody should be there to explain you the functional side of it, so you can map it. If you know both of it, it's well and good. So that way you are going to map or format the data. You are going to ensure security of it when you are going to exchange the data from one endpoint to another. All right. Like monitoring the integrations performance once it is built, you'll have to monitor whether there are any issue, performance issue or troubleshooting issue. You can mention like maintaining integration as a business requirement, and over the time you have to see there are no fails or due to any other security issue or the mapping issue.